Jay Cutler, 2001, Mr. Olympia, versus Rubiel Mosquera, 2023 Prague Pro Championships. What a matchup! Where do I come up with these? From you guys, the viewers. This is actually a fan request, part of your fan requested Friday lineup. Second place. So Jay Cutler, back in 2001, he placed second. He was placing second to Ronnie King Coleman. A lot of people said that this version of Jay is an uncrowned Mr. Olympia champion. I reserve my opinion on that. But either which way, 2009 is also a good version of Jay, and we will throw that version in as a bonus. But on with this comparison between these two studs. Seems to me that it is upper body versus lower body with that ginormous, and I mean huge, lower half of Mosquera. Rubiel Mosquera, otherwise known as NEXKZILLA. I mean, that is unbelievable. But Jay, he has some better cuts in them quads. Are the finer cuts, the finery detail enough to defeat the massive lower half? It's like a 205 MMA fighter beating up a big giant heavyweight guy if he's not quite as good. I think that is what would happen here. But upper body, Jay Cutler has it, no doubt. And I don't think that the arms, the biceps, triceps are small of NEXKZILLA. I just think he needs to learn how to display. I mean, Jay was a master of that. Look at those arms. Now, that's 2001. I'd give it to Jay in the front double. Here's 2009. And I don't want to start a whole tinkling contest between 2001 and 2009 Jay, but in certain shots like this one, yes, 2001 was far superior. Look at the quads. His quads were unsymmetrical in 09. Sure, his conditioning was good, but his arms as well. So, Rubiel versus Jay, 2009. Might even lean towards Rubiel in the front double, but still, Jay has those, the V-taper silhouette, the arms as well. Pretty close using these two versions. Here's 2001, back to 2000. This is the original request. Front lat spread, Jay looks like a demon. Look at Sean Ray back there. He's thinking, that's it. This is my last Olympia. I'm not in the first call out. I am out of here. But anyway, I am surprised. This is where I take note of Rubiel and think, okay, he's not just a great big mound, pile of muscle. He's got some shape. And when you got that much size and muscle, it's all you really need is a little bit of shape. And he's got quite a bit of shape in this front lat spread. Fan-friggin-tastic. And considering Jay, he'd probably be in the top 10 of best front lat spreads of all time, using the 01, that is. Considering that, I think Rubiel is doing just fine in this pose. And here is 09, and I'm sure even you fans of 2009 Jay will admit, front double, front lat spread, 2001, so much better. The delts, the midsection separation. I'm not saying Jay wasn't more conditioned overall in 09, but from the front, appeared that he had more separation in 2001. As we will see from the back, it's the opposite. But having said that, Rubiel's probably getting Jay here due to the unsymmetrical nature of the quads as well, guys. You have to take all that into consideration. Jay, yes, he is a legend, but Rubiel, he is an up-and-comer. And when you turn to the side, hold on a second, bear with me for a minute. This is the only side chest I could find of 2001. Not the best display. But using this, Rubiel, he's probably defeating the 4-time Mr. Olympia champion. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, guys and gals. This picture of Jay, not the best at all. I don't even think he's flexing. Now here's 09. And this is a situation where, yes, from the front, it appeared 2001 would have an edge. And this is why it'll be forever debated on, 2001, 2009 Jay. From the side, 2009 all the way. Much more peeled, much more separated. Looks like two quads stacked on top of each other. And even compared to, we'll call him Quadzilla, NEXKZILLA, Rubiel Mosquera, even compared to Rubiel, Jay's doing okay. He's not getting eaten up. And I think too many other bodybuilders could say that. Upper body wise, it's close. Jay's got some good delts. This is a different side than he was hitting in 2001. Interesting little factoid. Go to the side tricep, and he is a colossus. Is this Rubiel? Unbelievable amount of size. This picture, I will admit, not the best. Maybe even making him a little bit thicker. Jay, very aesthetically pleasing in the side tricep, I will say. But considering NEXKZILLA, he doesn't look bad. He has not even a whiffle, not even a hint of a double bubble, triple trouble bubble gut. And he has all that size. Plus, and I don't want to upset you Jay fans, but it looks like he is much more peeled in the condition. Look at that hard, grainy nature. The side of the wheel. I mean, come on. What is this? Slapstick? Now here's 09, and this is a definite situation that needs to be talked about. It is the right quad of Jay. We could see it in the front double, front lat, and we can see it in the side. He should have stuck with the other side, of course. His tricep probably wasn't as good on that side. Kind of forced to use the side for that quad. And you can see, guys, Quadzilla, or NEXKZILLA rather, I apologize. He's eating Jay up. He's eating, not in the upper body, no, but in the lower half, most certainly. Not even a contest. Let's have a look at the backs of these two greats. And right out of the chute, I notice conditioning from the pictures now. And you guys know you need to be there live on stage. Things of that nature, you can only tell so much by pictures. But looks like they are in similar type condition. Hamstrings, glutes, Jay might be a little more peeled in the, separated anyway, in the hamstrings. That doesn't necessarily mean condition, but when you are able to be in about the same condition of a guy that people say is an uncrowned Mr. Olympia champion, I think this newcomer's doing perfect. This is his pro debut, keep in mind. Jay seems to be a little larger in the back region. You can see that, the lats, traps, things of that nature. Rubiel, obviously, nobody's going to have more size in those wheels than him, so he's not getting, chucked around here. Here's 2009 for Jay, and you 09 fans are just sticking your chests out thinking, look how much more peeled 2009 is than 2001. There can be no question. Well, think about those front shots, guys. 2001 was bullying 2009, but as you can see here, I would give an edge to Jay Cutler. The conditioning, I think, the thin skin conditioning would be just too much. I think Jay would, the 2009 anyway, Jay would defeat Rubiel. Now here's the rear double, and I would definitely wager to say that Jason, or is it Jacob, Jay Cutler would be in trouble. Look at this. Condition-wise, his glutes look a little bit soft, as well as the hamstrings, and lack separation, like I could see from that rear lat spread. This one's maybe not the best pose for Jay. Out of the two back shots, I prefer his rear lat spread. Still has a lot of size, but he doesn't have that perfect lines and separation, muscle attachments like this Rubiel Mosquera. So not quite as big as Jay in the rear lat or even in the rear double. But as you can see, personally I would give it to Rubiel. Now here's 09. And this is going to be a debate. I'm going to say something now and you guys might get upset. 2001 looked heavier than 2009 Jay. You could see from the wheels. Now he could be bigger in terms of muscle, but he's more conditioned. He less water. You know what I'm saying? So you can be bigger, but not as heavy. Does that make sense? Either which way, 2009 peeled. And again, he lacks that lower lat insertions like Rubiel has in spades. This is a better shot for Rubiel. Might even give him this one here if he were a little bit more conditioned. But I just think the conditioning from behind of 09J, he really... he cranked it up a notch as far as that's concerned, opposed to any other year. So yeah, interesting situation. Abs and thigh, a beauty of a pose for Mr. J. I mean, those abs, so deeply nestled, so deeply cut, you could get lost in there. He probably loses pens and pencils in those cuts. Now, Rubiel, he looks pretty darn good, dwarfing Jay in the quad department. This is not a very good representation of Jay. Here's a front-on shot. Doesn't show the whole body, but you can really see the finery details in those quads. So you go back to the front of 2001. Advantage Jay. From the back, I'd say 2009. And here is 2009. Very dry. He didn't have quite the overall shape, and you can see the far quad not as symmetrical as 2001, but he has a dryness, an overall package that I just think would be too much, like the separation in the quads, things of that nature. For Rubiel, like I said, a 205er MMA guy, just running circles around a big heavyweight like a big Bob Sapp. But if Bob Sapp gets a little bit better, and if Rubiel gets a little more cuts in those quads, it's going to be all over. It's going to be lights out. And here's the most muscular. Shots like this, I don't think are his calling card yet. Rubiel, maybe even Jay might even get an edge here. And here is 2009. He looked wider. He didn't look as big, but he looked wider. I think it was a tilted Dowsley picture from 2001. Takes away some of that width. And I think this is a maybe slightly tilted Dowsley for Rubiel Mosquera. But very similar. You can see Jay, wider clavicle, things of that nature. And when you don't get to have the full legs, things of that nature, you're not going to be able to have exact sizing. So, going to be difficult. I think Rubiel is going to be a bigger dude than Jay in his prime. Crab position, most muscular. A beauty of a shot for Jay. Look at this. Nice delts, round silhouette. Beating Rubiel in that aspect. He has those quads you can see. Abs bulging out. And like I said, not just yet are these shots Rubiel's calling card. I don't think Nick Walker really, the crab position was his when he first started either, but he has developed into that pose. 2009. Yes, the overall shape, silhouette. 2009, I think the condition would be a little bit too much from behind for Rubiel to handle. But the front shots, he was obviously doing better in that aspect. Overall, hard to say. Probably Jay. 2001, Rubiel might stand a better chance of getting a victory over Jay Cutler in that type of a battle. Although in the front shots, you're probably more likely to go with Jay. So it seems like a situation here where Rubiel, doesn't really matter who he is going against. It seems like he has the potential to defeat everybody. But it also seems like a situation where it's like, well, not quite yet. Doesn't quite have the conditioning. Needs a little more of this, but it's only little things that he needs. Couple more cuts on them quads. Bring those delts out a little bit. Tricep sweeps in the front double again. I think he has the muscle. Just think he needs to refine his posing. Which, I mean, you can't really ask much more of this guy or anything out of this guy. It's his pro debut, for goodness sakes. Sky is the limit. So a moral victory for Rubiel Mosquera, and Jay Cutler keeping his foot in the ground and saying, hey, I can still take out some of these big guys just yet. Alright, hit thumbs up on the video and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Have a great one.